Check, check, check. Check, check. Okay. Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to the stream. Today we arrive in Austria for the Austrian Grand Prix. This is round 8 of Division 2 here in Season 4 in DER. And currently racing on the very famous, very thrilling Red Bull Ring circuit. Currently, one-shot sprint qualifying is underway, as currently being led by Ishii, followed by Kev the Slice, and the Bartofor. Let's see if any of that changes after the first two sectors. Kev the Slice barely on the edge of track limits there. The Bartofor takes the lead here. 2 more corners to go. Let's see if anyone can make some last-minute jumps up to the line now. I think it's going to be the Bartofor. And it is the Bartofor. 1 minute 4.6 takes pole position. And that is starting the day off right for the Alpine driver. The Bartofor takes pole. 2/10 up on Kev the Slice in the Ferrari. Behind them, we have Ishii, Nick, Motion God, Expedito, Wazah, Super Sean, Shiv, Firefly, Queasy, Roberto, Blue Dark, Hamid, and Epic Toast. Hamid and Epic Toast were disqualified from one-shot sprint qualifying due to exceeding track limits. And really is lovely to see from first place down to 12th place. We've got only a 1.1 second gap. So it's really showing how close the field is here in D2. As always, we're going to take a quick look at the standings. Currently leading the Drivers' Championship is the Bartofor with 153 points. However, his lead was shortened quite a bit. Super Sean's been making moves, and he only trails the Bartofor by 6 points. Super Sean currently sitting at 147 points on the season. In third place, we got Shiv with 129 points, so not exactly close to them, but still within arm's reach. Moving on to the Constructors' Championship. Constructors' Championship is currently led by Alpine with Aston Martin hot on their heels. 12 points separating the two teams. Alpine at 234 and Aston Martin at 222. In third place, we have Red Bull with 189 points. So again, not particularly close, but they've got lots of time to catch up and take the lead. Taking a look at our participants today, we have one reserve, and that is Epic Toast in the Haas. Everybody else is a full-time driver here in Division 2. We are missing drivers from Red Bull, missing driver from McLaren, from Haas, and 2 from Kick Sauber, I believe. Right? Am I reading that right? DJ Lawson was supposed to be here in the Kick Sauber, but he is not here. So 2 RBs, 2 Williams, 2 Alpine, 2 Aston Martin, 1 McLaren, 2 Mercedes, 2 Ferrari, 1 Red Bull, no Haas, and no Kick Sauber. I mean, we have Haas reserve. So one Haas, one Red Bull, one McLaren missing, and two Kick Saubers missing. Kick Sauber, where are they in the championship? Ninth. So yeah, that makes sense. They don't have many drivers showing up to the races, at least today. Getting ready to get going here for the sprint race. 5 red lights. Wassag gets a drive-through penalty, and it's lights out, and away we go. Here at the Red Bull Ring, what a start from the McLaren of Wassag. He got a drive-through penalty, of course, but that is amazing. Oh, and the Bartol 4! The Bartol 4 has lost on the exit of the first corner, and he is now at the absolute back of the field. Is that going to trigger a safety car? Not yet. Oh, what a dive bomb from the Williams of Expedito. They don't call him the torpedo for nothing. Absolutely kills Wazar. Thankfully, both drivers didn't lose too much time. After that mistake from the Bartofor, Kev the Slice has a comfortable lead out there in first place. 1.2 seconds between him and Ishii behind. So if you're just joining us, we had quite an eventful first lap so far. The Bartofor crashes from first place. He's now at the back. A little bit of an incident at turn 3 as well between Waza and Expedito. Super Shaw, and this is his chance to gain some points on the Bartofor in the championship. Oh, nice move down the inside from Firefly! And he loses the back end. That looked a bit too obvious from my point of view. He might have been hit from the back, but Firefly, again, strong qualifying, and it all falls to pieces during the race. It's really painful to see. Super Sean going around the outside at turn 6. Lovely move from the Red Bull driver. Take a look at our position changes. Our hero of the first lap goes to Shiv, up 5 positions, and he's currently in 4th place. And our biggest faller is the Bartofor, down 13 positions. Shiv sets the fastest lap of the race as well. And Kev the Slice continues to dominate out there. Already a 2-second gap between the Ferrari and the Williams. Motion God and Expedito trading places down the straight. Expedito, without DRS, is a sitting duck out there. Into turn 3, Roberto cuts the corner and picks up a penalty, but he gets the move done on Expedito, and that's Expedito down 3 places on one straight. Oh, contact! Someone lost the wing there. It's epic toast. Carnage in the midfield to start this sprint race. Yellow flag. It's a Ferrari and a Haas. Blue Dark and Epic Toast coming together. It will not trigger a safety car, however. Motion God, the lead Mercedes thus far, looking to get past Roberto in the Aston Martin. He's got DRS, but he decides to stay behind for now. This is going to be a theme today. Lots of drivers prefer overtaking at turn 3 or even turn 4, and they would rather sit behind at turn 1 to get a better run down the next straight. So Motion God is going to go for it down the last DRS zone if he has the overspeed. I don't think he had as good of an exit as he would have wanted, however, and that is going to cost him here. So he could have got the move done at turn 1, but he took a gamble, and unfortunately on this occasion it did not pay off. We're seeing Nick now starting to gain on the Williams of Ishii. Bit of a DRS train forming now behind Ishii with Nick, Shiv, and Super Sean all very close to each other. Shiv is going to have a look into turn one. Is he going to get 2 in 1? He doesn't go for it, but a lovely move down the inside nonetheless. And that's Shiv up into 3rd place. Shiv looking to the inside line into turn 3, late on the brakes. Side by side with Ishii. And Ishii gets a better exit and is able to keep his position for now. Shiv not opening his DRS there. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not, but he could have easily got the position. And he decided not to use DRS, lowering his speed down the straight. We've got another yellow flag in the middle sector. I believe that's Blue Dark. And Shiv is going to get the move done now, though. The end of the middle sector and into sector 3. He gets the move done. Ishii loses another place, this time to Nick after a poor exit out of turn 9. Ishii down 2 places here in one sector, but he's got DRS. So let's see if that Williams has straight line speed. Shiv is getting eaten alive without the DRS, and that's why, ladies and gentlemen, you want to have the DRS into turn 3. Ishii goes super deep, way too deep there. He's the one without DRS this time, and Super Sean is going to breeze past him into turn 4. Bartofor making moves up into P9 after that first lap mistake. Oh, and Epictos is retired in the pit lane. Oh, Shiv on the absolute limit of track limits. Roberto is the only driver so far with a penalty to his name, but don't forget, Waza got a drive-through penalty for jumping the start on the opening lap. Ishii having a look on Super Sean. He's going to go for the outside line into turn 3. He makes contact with Nick, and it allows Super Sean to keep the position. Super Sean looking to gain another place here. Ishii down the inside. It's a double overtake for Ishii, but he takes out Nick and Sean in the process. Nick and Sean losing multiple positions from that beautiful switchback from the Red Bull driver, and he's able to overtake the Alpine. They're still going side by side, and Nick takes the position back from Super Sean. Roberto getting in on the action now. Ishii will live to fight another day at the front of the field, but he has to keep Shiv behind him. Less than 2/10 separate the Williams and the Aston Martin. Shiv's got the inside line into turn 3. Let's see if he can pull it off. Down the inside, and that's an easy pass for the Aston Martin. Is it going to be a torpedo dive bomb for Ishii and the Williams? It is! And he gets the move done. Ishii and the Williams back up in the 2nd place. They call him last of the late breakers. Ishii, lay on the brakes, down the inside, gets the position. Oh, and Ishii's got a penalty. He's cut the corner and he's gone wide. And Ishii loses the place to Shiv. His motion gun's going to get him as well. He's having a look down the inside, but he doesn't go for it into turn 1. Trying to force Ishii into a mistake. Ishii got a bad exit out of turn one here, and Motion God looks as if he's going to get the position. Look at the straight line speed on Shiv. It's terrible without DRS. Motion God looking to get 2 and 1 here. Cuts the corner on the inside and loses the place, but gets it back with a good exit. Beautiful move from the Mercedes driver. Oh, it's a dive bomb again from Ishii. Does he get it done? He doesn't. Kept it clean this time. Oh, Ishii's got no front wing. How does he still have pace? He's missing an end plate. I'm shocked at how he's able to keep up with these guys with that. Oh, and he goes way too deep. Yeah. The high-speed corners become much more difficult without a front wing. And look at the DRS train forming up now. From Motion God all the way down to Roberto, we've got cars lining up, ready to make their move. Oh, more contact. Carbon fiber flying everywhere. I'm not sure who it was that time. Ishii gets back past Motion God with a broken front wing. Is Ishii going to pull this off? We've got a yellow flag. Blue Dark going slowly. This is incredible. Lovely scenes. Oh, Ishii almost cuts off Motion God. It's going to be 3 wide into turn 9. Side by side, Motion God and Shiv gets the move done up in the P3. Lap 11 of 12, 2 laps remaining here at Spielberg. 3 wide into turn 3, keep it clean. Super Sean looks down the inside, doesn't go for it. Looks like Nick got past Motion God. Is Ishii going to be able to defend his P2 here? Shiv doesn't send it. He has a go, and he taps Ishii. It's Austria 2021 from Ishii and Shiv, Kimi Räikkönen and Sebastian Vettel. And Ishii is plummeting down the order, losing more of his front wing. He's down in P7. Final lap of the sprint race. Kev the Slice has absolutely dominated. He's increasing his lead, pushing 10 seconds now. Motion God and the Bartofor. The Bartofor back up into 4th place. Contact between Nick and Motion God. And the Bartofor has gone from last to podium. And he's having a run on his teammate too. Side by side. The Bartofor and Nick into turn 4. Who's going to break later? The Bartofor gets the move done. Super Sean looking to retake what was once his as well. Side by side, Super Sean and Nick. Who's gonna get it? And Nick is gonna take the position by a margin of 58 thousandths of a second. Motion God, 30 thousandths behind Super Sean. What a finish to this sprint race. Kev the Slice takes victory. An absolutely dominant performance. 8.9 seconds. All the points count, ladies and gentlemen. All the points count, and this helps his drivers' championship hopes. The Bartofor, though, what a comeback from the Alpine driver. It was looking like everything was going wrong for him at the first corner, and he brought it back home to second place. Most importantly, ahead of his championship rival, Super Sean. Motion God picks up driver of the day. My driver, everybody drove brilliantly. That was an amazing sprint race to watch. But my driver of the day for the sprint has to be the Bartofor. That was an amazing comeback from the Irishman. Kev the Slice wins from P2 on the grid. Rounding out the podium, we've got the Alpine drivers Bartofor and Nick. Looking down the rest of the grid, we've got Super Sean, Motion God, Shiv, Roberto, Firefly, Hamid, Wazah, Expedito, Queasy, Ishi, Blue Dark, and Epic Toast, who DNF'd in the pit lane. So now we've got one shot qualifying for the race, and then we've got the race, 36 laps. For all of you in the chat, feel free to say hello. I'm happy to talk. And if you want to talk about the real life F1 Constructors Championship, I'd love to talk about that as well. Let's do predictions. I'm going to go Bartofor P1. I'm going to say Ishi P2 and Firefly P3. Those are my predictions for qualifying. So after the first sector, we've got Cut the Slice in first, Roberto in second, and Nick in third. I think Firefly invalidated. He did. So Firefly will start at the back. I'm 0 for 1 on the predictions. Kev the Slice. Absolutely flying. Purple through the middle sector. He leads, followed by the Bartofor. The third sector is where we saw the Bartofor take pole for the sprint race. Let's see if he can do it again. Up to the line. Who's going to take pole? Kev the Slice with a faster time than the Bartofor's sprint qualifying time. He takes pole with a 1 minute 04.5. So there we have it then. I'm 0 for 3 on the predictions. For those of you who have watched my streams before, I'm terrible at predictions anyways. Captain Slice, 1 minute 04.5. 3/10 ahead of the Bartofor. followed by Nick. So we have the exact same top three that we did in the sprint race. Followed by Epic Toast, Waza, Motion God, Hamid, Ishi, Shiv, Super Sean, Roberto, Expedito, Queasy, Blue Dark, and Firefly, who invalidated. Rain. It is raining here for the sprint race, or for the feature race, sorry. Will this be all race long? Will it be a wet to dry race? Nobody knows but the drivers. Everybody is on inters. It isn't full wet, so that tells me there's a good chance it'll get dry later on, but only time will tell. Are you ready for some action then? Because it's lights out and away we go. Here for the race at the Red Bull Ring. What a start from Nick. He's having a run on Kev to slice into turn one, but the Ferrari maintains his lead. Oh, contact! Queasy goes off the track at turn three, made contact with someone there in the braking zone. Oh, the McLaren of Waza going a little bit wide there on the exit. Ishi's having a run on him. Is she gaining on the McLaren driver of Waza? He's going to have a send down the inside. Very late on the brakes, but he gets the move done. But what a switchback from Waza in the McLaren. Waza takes that position back and says, thank you very much. Is she slipping and sliding out there? Motion God has a look, but decides not to go for it. And the Bartofor has overtaken Kev the Slice, sets the fastest lap of the race, but Kev the Slice will not go down without a fight. He's only 2.5 tenths behind. Let's see if he can retake the lead. He's using his battery. He's got a lot more to play with compared to the Bartofor. Has a look down the inside. He's going to sneak one down the inside at turn 3. And it looks like he's got the move done, but he hasn't, because the Bartofor has pulled up with an amazing exit. Kevin Slice is going to try again into turn 4 this time. Got the inside line. His exits aren't as good as the Bartofor's, though. They're still going side by side through turn 5 now, turn 6, 7, and 8. Oh, little tail wag there from the Ferrari. It's going to allow the Bartofor to get back alongside. Side by side, turn 9. And it's safe to say that Kev the Slice has gotten the lead back for the time being. Obviously, due to the lower grip on a wet track, lots of drivers are already exceeding track limits and picking up penalties as punishment. Ishii and Waza already have 3 second time penalties. Your hero so far this race is Firefly with 7 positions gained. And your biggest faller is Expedito, dropping 3 positions. Kev the Slice appears to be using a very aggressive driving style thus far in the race. I'm not sure how his tires are feeling after that, but if he knows that it works, then he's got a very good chance of winning this race. We still have a great battle going on between him and the Bartofor. One of the only battles so far on the track. Oh, the Bartofor is going to go for a move now. Into turn 3, the Bartofor, inside line, late on the brakes. Kev the Slice tries to keep it on the outside, but the Bartofor once again gets the better exit, and he's back up into the lead. Intermediate weather is better than full wet, in my opinion. Full wet, a lot of the drivers are just trying to focus on keeping their car on the track rather than going for overtakes, because it is difficult enough due to the less grip. Difficult enough to keep your own car on the track. So that's why there's probably less battles now versus the sprint already. But if this was full wet weather, it would be very, very boring to watch. Motion God looking around the outside. Wazaa does a nice job covering it off. And Wazaa is going to keep P5. Firefly up 8 positions. What a start to this race he's had. Currently sitting in P7, 1 second behind Motion God in the Mercedes. Let's see. Driver has the terrible engine sound, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, nobody wants to hear that on a broadcast. Cinematic. Let's try that. Oh, and what's happened to Kev? What have we missed? Has he pitted? He's pitted! Kev! On slick tires, is he the first one? Many drivers are coming in for slicks now. Queasy, Blue Dark, Shiv, and Roberto have all opted to switch for the slicks. Now, since it is a wet weather race, or it was raining at some point, that means that the tire compound rule, where you have to choose at least 2 different tire compounds, goes out the window. So they can go hard to the end if they want to. They can go soft 3 times. They can go medium, whatever they want. All of the options are at the driver's disposal. Now, the interesting thing will be to see if Kev the Slice is gaining on the rest of the field. Because if he's not, Nick will be very comfortable hanging it out there in first place on those intermediates. And Kev the Slice has completed the undercut beautifully on the Bartofor, and he's getting past the Alpine. They're going side by side into turn 3, the Bartofor on the hards, so Kev the Slice has a major grip advantage, and it looks like he is going to get the undercut completed. Yellow flags, it's the Haas of Epic Toast. What has happened to Epic Toast? I can't tell if he's losing his front wing or anything. Oh, massive rear lockup from Wazaa on the curb. He's lucky he was able to save that one. Nick, Firefly, and Wazaa dive into the pits, and it looks like everyone is pitting to slicks now, but it's still raining, so I'm not sure if this is the right call. Kev the Slice on the softs doesn't set the fastest lap, so maybe it was a bit too early. I mean, he did get track position on the Bartofor, but he's got a massive tire disadvantage. So if I'm Ishii and Super Sean, and I'm seeing that others aren't gaining on the slick tires, I'm keeping it on inters, and then I can switch to a set of mediums later and go to the end. We can only wonder what the radar shows. The drivers are the only ones that have access to that. But based on what I'm seeing, inters are still the way to go as of now. Oh, big slide from Super Sean. Driving conditions don't look very fun as of now. The Bartofor gets past Kev the Slice. The soft tires just aren't working. You can see him slipping and sliding out there. I don't think this is the right call from the Ferrari driver. He's getting overtaken by Nick as well, who pitted to a new set of intermediates. So there you have it. The intermediates are faster, period. This is a disaster for everyone who pitted to the softs, especially Kev the Slice. And it is played out beautifully for Super Sean. Driving conditions still don't look ideal out there, but if he's on the fastest tire, he's got nothing to worry about. Oh, and he's coming into the pits. Is it time for a new set of inters? Is it time for slicks? What is the call going to be? Ishii comes into the pits as well. Let's see what the call is from the crew at Williams. And he's fitted a new set of hards. Super Sean, a new set of inters. What is going on down at the pit wall? Is it slicks? Is it inters? Nobody knows what's going on. And currently it looks like the intermediates are the fastest, but no one knows. Yellow flags, and that's a Ferrari. Is it blue dark? It is blue dark on the soft tires sliding off the track. I think that tells you everything you need to know, ladies and gentlemen. Nick on the intermediates overtaking his teammate. Yeah, if you pitted to slicks, you made the wrong call. I'm sorry. You can already see Motion God gaining on the Bartofor on a fresh set of inters. The rain is just still coming, and it's as simple as that. It's too early. So unless the tire wear was crazy high, I don't really understand why some of these drivers decided to pit for a new set of inters, but it is clearly the fastest tire at this stage, and the Bartofor is kind of making it difficult for us because of the pace that he has. But you can just see everybody else on slick tires getting absolutely eaten up by those on inters. Like, look at that wheel spin from Firefly. Gets absolutely destroyed by Super Sean. Gained 1 second on the exit there. Drivers are going wide, braking late, sliding across the apex. It doesn't look very fun if you are on a slick tire. Blue Dark goes from the slicks back onto the intermediates. So I think the debate is settled now. The debate is settled now for good. And yet another slick tire runner being overtaken by an intermediate tire runner. And we're starting to see lots of drivers going back onto the intermediates. So this all started with Kev the Slice pitting to softs. Then the Bartofor followed him into the pits a couple laps later and went to hards. And now everyone seems to be... When that happened, everyone followed them into the pits and went to softs or mediums or hards, any slick tire really. And now we're starting to see that the intermediate was the fastest compound all along. So if you stuck on the intermediate, you made the right call, and it has really benefited some of these drivers here. If we take a look at the position gained, we can see Super Sean up 6 places, Nick up 2, Motion God up 4, Those three drivers are all in intermediate, so I think that would give you all the information you need. And surprisingly, the Bartofor decided to stick it out in the hard, so maybe they know something that we don't. Maybe the rain is going to clear up in a few minutes, but right now, without a doubt, the intermediates are faster, and if I was on the track, I would want to be on that tire. Firefly, the next driver to switch back onto intermediates. The only driver within a second is Shiv. Half a second behind Wazah. Both drivers on mediums. We've got a safety car. So it looks like Epic Toast, who's dropped it. And it has brought out the safety car. So this is a perfect opportunity for those on the slicks to pit back onto intermediates. Bartofor will take advantage. Ishii will stay out, surprisingly. Wazah will stay on the slicks as well. Because not everyone is going to intermediates. There's still some hope in the rain clearing up, I guess. A new set of mediums for Roberto. Let's see, Queasy. For Queasy, it's intermediate. For Roberto, it's a new set of mediums. Oh, sorry, we've seen that already. Epic Toast is the last driver. And for Epic Toast, they're going to change the wing and they're going to fit a new set of mediums. So, 4 drivers still on slicks. The rest of the field is on intermediates. The only ones who aren't on fresh intermediates are Expedito and Blue Dark. But that is about to change because Blue Dark has made his way into the pits. It's the back of the field. He has nothing to lose. And he fits a new set of intermediate tires. Smart move from the Ferrari driver. I mean, the rain looks a little bit less heavy, but I don't know. I don't know if I agree with Ishii's decision to stay out on the hard tires. So the safety car is coming in this lap. And Ishii is off. He didn't get the best exit out of the final corner. Nick's got a good run on him, and now that we've seen the onboard camera, the conditions don't look much better. Nick already gaining on Ishii. Is Nick going to take back the lead of this race? Let's see. Into turn 3, Nick gets the better exit, and he gets the move done. Oh, what's happened to Ishii? Ishii is going backwards at turn 3, and he is already down in last place. So staying out was definitely the wrong call. Not really much else going on at the moment, but Kev the Slice goes for a big dive bomb into turn 4, and he gets the move done on Super Sean. So the safety car has made it a lot easier for those who made the wrong strategy call. But if you were one of the people who have always been on Inters this race, I don't think you're having a bad race so far. Obviously, the guys at the front of the field have great pace, but for example, Motion God, who I don't think started at the front of the field, he started in 6th, is now up into P2, and he's having a run for the lead. And he was one of the drivers that stayed out on Inters the entire time. So well done to Motion God. Yeah, we've got quite a good battle going on. No one really going for any overtakes, though. We've got yellow flags. Who is it? Expedito is off in the middle sector. He's been on those Inters for 17 laps. So he stayed on those Inters during the safety car. I don't think that was a great move either. And unfortunately for him, he is paying the price as it stands. Bartofor with a sneaky little look down the inside. Is he going to overtake Motion God here? He's got a good run. He's using his overtake button. Into turn 4 we go. Epic Toast has retired. Down the inside goes the Bartofor, and he gets past the Mercedes. Oh, contact between Queasy and Wazar. Queasy had a bit of a slide coming out of the first corner there, and it has led to contact between himself and the McLaren driver. Currently have an Alpine 1-2 here on lap 24, just 12 laps to go. This race has absolutely flown by. Side by side, Kev the Slice and Motion God, and Kev the Slice has gotten through the Ferrari, makes his way back up into the podium places. Oh, who's coming to the pits? Kev the Slice. Is it time for slicks again? It's fresh inters for Kev the Slice. I'm not sure how tire wear is really on wet weather tires, but 11 laps seems a little short to me. Maybe the tires aren't so good after all. Maybe we're going to start to see some other drivers making a pit stop as well. If that was me, I wouldn't have given up track position for it. But he's not too far behind. I think he's about 20 seconds at the most behind the Bartofor. Down the inside goes Firefly on Super Sean, and we're starting to see lots of drivers respond to Kev the Slice and make their way into the pits. So very interesting here. Can Kev the Slice pull off another undercut and get past the Alpines here? If I'm the Bartofor and Nick, this is a very, very difficult choice. If they make the pit stop, they need to hope that they come out ahead of Kev, or they could be in trouble. If they stay out, they need to have the pace to keep him behind for another 8 laps or so. So this is a very, very difficult decision. And it all depends on how good their tire wear is right now, and it also depends on the pace that they've got left in the tank. Super Sean, the next driver to come into the pits. Kev the Slice has set the fastest lap of the race on new intermediate tires. I don't know, but it might be time to make a stop for the Bartofor and Nick. Keep in mind though, Kev the Slice does have that penalty. So for the Bartofor, doesn't really matter what he does. For Nick, I think track position would probably be favorable in this scenario. Who knows? The track could even dry up within the next couple of laps, meaning that a switch to slick tires would make more sense. Down the inside goes Shiv on Super Sean. They're still side by side. Super Sean keeps that position though. Don't forget, penalties are going to be a big factor at the end of this race. Let's see what the penalties look like right now. 10 seconds for Hamid, but he isn't in danger of Roberto passing him. Shiv is safe. Motion God is safe. Kev the Slice is safe. The only one who isn't safe is Nick and Waza. Queasy has a chance to overtake Waza with penalties, and Firefly has a chance to overtake Nick with penalties. So we will see what happens here with 4 laps to go. 3.1 seconds is the gap, so it looks like this is going to go down to the very wire here at the Red Bull Ring. We've got 4 laps to go here on lap 33. Kev the Slice is making a move on Firefly here. So can Kev the Slice, or Firefly, excuse me, can he use Slipstream from Kev the Slice to get into that 3-second window? We will see. Currently the gap is still 3.1 between Firefly and Nick. All Firefly needs to do is keep it under 3 seconds and stay out of penalty trouble with 2.5 laps remaining. And Blue Dark had a chance to overtake Roberto, but it looks like he's not going to do it. Currently almost 4 seconds behind the Aston Martin. Oh, and what's happened? Has Nick made a mistake? All of a sudden, Firefly and Kev the Slice have gained massively on the Alpine driver. Kev could even get P2 here if he overtakes Nick. 2 laps remaining here at the Red Bull Ring. 0.3 separate Kev and Nick. 2.6 seconds separate Firefly and Nick. Nick can drop all the way off the podium here with a poor finish. Kev the Slice side by side at the Alpine now. Here we go into turn 3. Kev gets the move done. Kev is up in the P2. If I'm Nick, obviously that P2 is better than the P3. But I'm also worried about Firefly behind. Nick's number 1 priority is to stay on that podium and keep at least 3 seconds ahead a Firefly. Let's see what he can do. So clearly the pace wasn't there for Nick on those old tires. So maybe the pit stop was the right call, but unfortunately he didn't make that call. So Nick ends up losing out on strategy, but crucially, Firefly picks up a 3-second time penalty for track limits, and now, unless he can somehow gain 1.5 seconds, he would have passed Nick, but he gets tagged by Motion God, and that is Firefly's race pretty much over. Let's see if he can bring it home to P7 at least. Super Sean looks like he's going to get to position on Motion God after penalties. But after that incident, this race is pretty much complete. The Bartow come to the final corner now. The Bartow will take the checkered flag here in Austria. Bartow takes victory, followed by Kev the Slice and Nick. So Kev the Slice this time in an Alpine sandwich. Super Sean moves up into P4, helping his championship hopes. Motion God, Shiv, Hamid, Firefly, Wazaa, Queasy, Blue Dark, Roberto, Ishi, and Expedito. I mean, that last lap incident with Firefly was unfortunate for Firefly, of course, but Motion God might be penalized for that. Other than that, though, I really liked Motion God's driving today. He had a good strategy. He didn't make very many mistakes. Cool, calm, controlled, and collected. And he takes P5 on track. Oh, little backflip celebration for the Bartow. He wins yet again here in D2. Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. And as always, feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe. We will see you next week for some more D2 action. Peace.